Okay, short overview of the transformations project. First of all, everything that you need is in the folder that's in our Schoology. This is a whole bunch of files that'll help you understand what to do. If I was going to pick only one, I'd say the rubric, because it tells you a list of all the functions you have to use. But basically, your project is going to look something like this. You're going to have, for instance, in this case, a little fish. And you don't have to make a fish, of course, but here's the equations over here that tell the computer what to actually graph. Now, I'm going to show you on Geogebra, which is the program that we use, exactly how you make a function, for example. So here's one. And if I were to double tap over here on the right side on the equation, it brings it up. And this part here, right in front of the function, you have that f equals. That will get put in there automatically, but you would type in function, bracket, and then this is, for example, a square root that's got a stretch in front of it, and then that -3 in there. That means that it's moved 3 to the right. And then this is the domain. This domain is indicating that it's supposed to be graphed between -5 and 5. So again, if I look back at my actual picture, it's graphed between -5 and 5. It stops right there. Now there was no graph over here because of the way a square root looks like. It looks like this. So it was allowed to be graphed between -5 and 5, but that just basically meant cut it off right here because this side would have stopped here anyway. So anyway, this is a function, just one of many functions that you need to have in your picture. And I've got a list here of other functions that you really ought to think about including. Let me see if I can find that. I'm going to pause for a second while I find. So here I have some examples of some of the trickier ones to type in on this GeoGebra program. This would be a parabola that's got a stretch right here, the stretch factor in front, and it's being graphed between -5 and 5. The square root function here, again, I've thrown in a stretch and a move to the right and a move up. And then again, your domain, it's graphed between -5 and 5. This semicircle, the only thing I've added that's extra cool is that it's got a radius of 4, and this 2 in front means it's actually stretched. So this would actually make it into kind of an egg-shaped semicircle. And again, I've graphed these all between -5 and 5. So if you were to type this into your GeoGebra and then just make some tweaks to it, if you really want a true semicircle, you'd have to get that 2 out of there, just so you know. Here's one for the absolute value. So basically, I got a bunch of functions here that you could type in as example ones in GeoGebra. And when it's all said and done, you want the project to kind of look like that one I showed you on paper here, but you want it to be done in the computer in GeoGebra, and your equations that way will for sure match up. Make sure you've got 2 square roots, 2 absolute values, 2 semicircles, 2 circles, 2 parabolas. There's 5 different shapes you need, and you can know what they are for sure by looking at the rubric. All right, that's all I have for my quick overview of the project.